How long does it take to reach 100 ratings for FBA? I just was curious for all of us, because I know for me, how long it took you to get to 100 if you've gotten to 100 so far. It seems like a nice big number, and you're kind of stepping up to the plate and becoming a bigger seller, selling more volume. So I have sold roughly just under 2,500 items since I started 2 years ago, and most of that has been in the last about a year, so especially this year. I just got to 100 ratings about a week or so ago. I'm just over 100 now. And like I said, I sold almost 2,500 items. So it took selling a lot, several thousand, almost 3,000 even, but over 2,000 items, way over 2,000 items to get to 100 ratings. So I'm curious to know about you guys. Did it take that long or that many sales? I'm sure it just varies. It might have to do with the kind of products you sell. And I'm talking about books, CDs, VHS tapes, largely. That's basically what I sell. I have some video games and other random stuff thrown in there, but mostly that's what I've sent in over the past year or so. I don't know if it's different for people that sell other types of products, do retail arbitrage or other types of things in other categories, but just talking about books mostly, and also CDs and VHS tapes, and soon vinyl. It seems to me that I get ratings based upon certain things that I do. So number one, be honest. The product that you send in needs to be the product that you're describing in your description, assuming you're filling out the description box. So be honest. And number two, a detailed description. I always write a detailed description. Now I have templates for different products. So for books, CDs, VHS tapes, CD sets or box sets or whatever. For books, I have one that I drop into the description box, and then I change it. If it's mostly it's soft cover, so it says soft cover, but if I'll change it to hardcover if it is. Add that it has a dust jacket. You know, I usually say that it's very good. I might change it to good, acceptable, rarely like new, etc. Add little details like, oh, you know, there's a big crease in the front cover, there's underlining. Some have underlining, some don't have anything, some only have highlighting, some have notes, some have a name written on the title page, some have a name written on the inside of the cover, etc. So the more detailed, the better as far as I'm concerned. And I base this on what people write when they give me a rating. A lot of them will say, oh, book arrived. They'll say something like book arrived promptly, which has nothing to do with me, but they'll say, book was or item was as described, and a good amount of them say that. Now these are people like myself, buyers. When they go on Amazon, they actually read condition notes. So I'm coming from a perspective of a buyer who actually reads condition notes and thinks it's important. To me, it is important, and whenever I do buy something on Amazon, I always read that. If it's new, then that's different, but if it's used, I always want to read the description notes to see what I'm buying, basically. So say it looks one way or is in one condition, and then it arrives and it's in another. Of course, if it was damaged by Amazon, that's another conversation, or damaged en route, that sort of thing. But assuming that it's not, and I haven't had that issue yet, knock on wood, then just be detailed and honest. It doesn't have to be a novel. You don't have to write a full page of notes, but the most important things: the condition of the cover, the condition of the spine, the binding, the condition of the pages. Do they have age tanning or sun tanning? If not, you don't have to say anything. Do they have any sort of markings? Highlights, underlining, outlining, margin notes, writing of any kind. That's what's most important when it comes to books. For CDs, is the case have any cracks, any scratches, surface wear, chips? Is the CD have any writing on the label? Sometimes it'll have writing or any damage. The artwork, the inserts, are they in good shape? What about VHS tapes? So the cover or the sleeve, and then the tape. Usually I don't describe the tape unless there's something wrong with it, unless it's really stained or written on or torn or anything like that, or fading, then I'll describe it, but usually they're okay. The sleeve is often the one that's damaged, sometimes really badly, sometimes just a little bit, but all of those are important. So I feel that those are really important to help solicit more ratings. But clearly it's a very low percentage of people that actually leave a rating. Do ratings help? Sales, do they matter? Probably, is my thought. I know I look at ratings. If someone has 0 ratings or 1 or 2 or 5 or 10 versus someone that has 50 or 200 or 1,000, maybe I'll go with the person that has more ratings, just because common sense to me, it says that the more ratings they have, the more experience they have, that they know what they're doing. That's not always the case, but that's what I initially think. But more important to me is the description. So if there's a detailed description, or at least they do have some ratings, even if they don't have as many ratings, I'm more likely to buy from that person. Of course, price and that sort of thing, and condition, what condition it's in, is it good, very good, like new, acceptable? That's of course a big part. The ratings I think are important to make more sales to a certain degree, but I know for me as a buyer, it's not the most important thing, but I'm sure it does help at least a little bit. And I wonder too, if you get into having thousands of ratings, let's say over 10,000 and even more, 15,000, 20,000, you see some people that have tens of thousands of ratings, and clearly they've been doing it a long time if they're a smaller establishment or they're a big company. I wonder if you get to that level and you have thousands, let's say tens of thousands of ratings, whether that hurts you, because a buyer will look at you and say, oh, it's probably some big company, I'm more likely to trust a small seller. But on the other hand, maybe they don't care. Maybe people don't even think about that. A lot of people don't even realize that third-party sellers sell Prime. So maybe it doesn't matter, but it's just a thought I had, that the more you get, and I'm talking a lot of ratings, maybe it doesn't help you as much. But also your rating percentage, whether it's 90%, 95, 98, 100, I'm sure is just as important as how many ratings you have. I know when I look at a seller, I like to see how many ratings they have, but also where their percentage is, which is more important. For me personally, so far, knock on wood, guys, I try hard to keep this. It's at 100%. My rating percentage is at 100, and I had a couple that brought me down. They had to do with something went wrong with the shipping. It didn't arrive on time. It never arrived, that sort of thing. So to me, it's less important the number of ratings I have, more important the percentage I have. Let me know, guys, how you feel about it and whether you think it matters, how long it took you to get to 100 or other thresholds, maybe 500, maybe 1,000, 50. It's important, to just be honest, transparent, fill out your descriptions, and it should help you get more ratings and keep a good percentage, right? A really good percentage. I would say anything that's like 98 to 100% is solid, but go for 100%. That's the best. As always, remember, keep booking.